Hello friends, welcome back to my Python series. Today we are in day 5 and I thought to dedicate this entire section in context to regular expression because it is very crucial not only for students who are pursuing theory or computer science in automata, but at the same time the entire validation or to perform such operation, regular expression will play a very crucial role. And honestly speaking, the concept of regular expression is not that straightforward. So for that reason I thought I will be preparing few videos, few programs which will make you more flexible in regard to regular expression. Now, since we did in my last class the object-oriented programming approach of Python, so I thought to create the regular expression program following the similar pattern of OOPS. Along with that, the exploration of regular expression will also continue. So I gave a call to regular expression module and I create one class by the name called Regex checker, because I'm going to check my input, does it false under the required search pattern or not. So over here I've given a call to the constructor, and the constructor has got by default the instance as a parameter and the input which I will be sending in the form of regular expression pattern is my second parameter. Now if you look at my main function over here, I have created one empty regular expression string. It is empty right now. This parenthesis means it's a group. Okay, that means we are going to put forward our input right over here. Fine. I mean, you can do it like this way, that is also fine. So it's a regular expression empty string. So I'm passing a regular expression string to this particular constructor, and the constructor will pass the data over here, that empty regular expression string, and I want to convert this string into regular expression object. So this is what a regular expression object is. Okay, this is an object of type regular expression, and now I'm going to take input from the user, and that input I'm going to pass to the following method. The input will come right over here, and then it will do the comparison between the regular expression pattern which I have mentioned plus the input which I am sending. For that reason it will go for a comparison, and when you compare, either the comparison will be true or else the comparison is going to be false. Okay, so this is a basic underlying the code which I have written over here. So first let's run the code and let's see what happens. Well, although I did not give any string over here, no string is there, no input, I mean no regular expression string is there. So if I don't give any input, I hit the enter, it says the match found because this is an empty string. So the empty string, and I also didn't give any string, so it's an empty. So for that reason the pattern was empty, my input was also empty, so the match got found. Now if I give some input, suppose the letter A, then it will say match not found because the regular expression pattern was empty and I have given one input. So empty versus input, of course this is not true, hence no match found got generated. Okay, now what if I give a blank space like this? Will that be treated? Well, sorry, let me run the code again, and if I give a blank space like this, this is also going to say not match not found. So the blank space will be handled separately. Okay, so far so good. So we saw that how to write a basic code snippet in context expression is done. Now let's explore more in detail. Suppose I put a letter A over here. What does this mean? What is the meaning of this? Please take a note. I wrote a letter A, and that is also a single letter A. Okay, so now let's run the code. What if I give a single letter A? Of course the match will be found. What if I give multiple letter A? Match will not found. If I give B, match will not found. If I don't give anything, then also match will not found. That means the regular expression is stating very clearly that the string should contain just a single letter A. Apart from that, everything will be invalid. Okay, so that's what the string A stands for in regular expression, or it can be B also. It's not just about letter A, it can be B as well. So I should give at least and exactly one B. So at most also one, exactly also one, but if I give anything other than that, it will not work. If I give multiple B, that will not work. So what it is telling is that it should be exactly one B. That is what it's saying. Okay, so far so good. Now let's come up with this condition that I may give a B or I may not give a B. Okay, as we saw just now, if I don't give a B, it is saying match failed, right? If I don't give a B, it's saying match failed. Now what I want is I may give a B, I may not give a B. If I don't give a B, then also match found should be shown. And if I give a B, perfectly fine, match found will be shown. But if I give more than one B, then match found should not be true. So the scenario is like this: either you give a single B or else don't give anything. In that case, I want match found to be true. So what I mean is, if I give a B, then also it should work, and if I don't give a B, then also it should work, which is currently not happening. So make that happen, you will put one question mark. So what question mark means: if you don't give, that is also fine, but if you give, you have to give exactly one copy of B, because I wrote over here B. So let's now run the code. If I give a B, it is fine. If I don't give a B, then also it's fine. But if I give something else, suppose C, it's not fine. If I give more than one B, that also is not fine. Okay, so remember, question means either you don't give, or if you give, it should be exactly one. So if I have written, suppose over here, if I have written suppose 1, so either you don't give anything, that is also fine, but if you give, you should give exactly 1 1. If you try to give 2 1, that will not work. So that's what the question mark means. I believe it is getting more clear, right? Now let's move to the plus symbol. What does the plus symbol means? Plus symbol is saying that at least one you have to give, or you can give more, but you cannot give 0. I mean, you cannot keep it empty. That is not possible. So what I'm saying is that at least one is fine. More than one 1 is also fine, but I cannot give 1 2, that is not fine, and I cannot keep it as empty, that is also not fine. So that's what plus says. So if I put A over here, it means that I will give at least one A, it's fine. I can give more than one A, that is fine. I cannot keep it as empty, and I cannot give A followed by some other character. I cannot give, that is not going to work. Clear? So that's what the plus sign. So if you give at least one, you give, or else you can give more, but you cannot give empty, that is not going to work. So that is what plus means. I'm trying to explore you individually through different inputs, so that these symbols are crystal clear, because in interview they would ask this kind of question. Now let's come to asterisk. What asterisk is saying? Well, you can keep 0. You can keep 0 means you may not give any input. So let me clear the screen and let me show you. So it is similar to that of question mark. That means you can keep it as empty. See, I kept it as empty just like question mark. Again, let me show you. So question mark is also saying that you can keep it empty. So you can keep it empty. Then what is the difference? The difference is saying that question mark means it has, if you give, it should be exactly 1. That's what question mark means. So if you give exactly 1, it's fine. But if you give more than 1, that is not fine. And there where the difference lies in context to asterisk. If you don't give, that is fine. If you don't give, that is fine, no issue. You can give at least 1, that is also fine. You can give more than 1 A, that is also fine. You can give any number of A, that is also fine. But if you give anything other than A, that is not fine. You cannot give A followed by B, that is not fine. You remember, you have to draw this transition diagram in regular expression. This is what it means. A followed by B is not true. Multiple number of A's is all true, but A followed by B is not true. A followed by C or A followed by 1 is not true. You have to give A followed by A only, in case if you are giving multiple. Or else if you don't give anything, that means the null state is also valid. You do not give any input, it is absolutely valid. Okay, so through this particular program we realize one thing, how number of counts is actually taking clear. These symbols are mainly used for counting. That means what is the number of occurrence. Okay, so remember, if you're giving question mark, either you leave it as empty or exactly you give it 1 A. If you give plus, you have to give at least one a, or more than a is all fine. If you give asterisk, you may keep it as empty. You can come up with one a, or you can go for multiple a. Apart from a, no other input is going to be valid, because a followed by b or a followed by some other input is not going to work. That is something which is not going to work. Fine. Now if you want to make it an arbitrary, because I was confined within either a or 1, but I want that it can be a letter, it can be a number, it can be a symbol, then what should I do? I can make use a dot, a period. What does this period stands for? This period means it can be any letter. That means it can be one uppercase A to Z, it can be one lowercase a to z, it can be one 0 to 9 digit, it can be any one symbol. I mentioned exactly one. It should be one. It cannot be more than one. Let me show you now. So I can give a single letter lowercase a, perfectly fine. I can give a single letter uppercase a, perfectly fine. I can give any digit, perfectly fine. I can give any symbol, perfectly fine. But if I repeat, if I give more than one, then it is not correct. Okay, if I don't give a input, that is also not going to work. If I don't give input, that is also not going to work. You have to give input. So it should be exactly one input. You cannot keep it empty. If you are giving a period, you cannot keep it empty. Look, it didn't work. You have to give at least one. Sorry, exactly one, not at least. It should be exactly one. You cannot keep more than one. Let me show you. If I try to give more than one, that is not going to work. If I give more than one uppercase, that is also not going to work. If I give more than one digit, that is also not going to work. So it should be exactly one. Now what if I want to take exactly 2? Then you give 2 dots. In that case, it means that it can be exactly 2 letters. It can be exactly 2 letters. It can be exactly 2 letters AB. That is perfectly fine. It can be exactly 2 numbers. That is perfectly fine. It can be exactly 2 symbols. That is also perfectly fine. But it is exactly. You cannot give a single letter. Now if you try to give a single letter, that will not work. If you try to give a single number, that will also not work. If you try to give a single symbol, that will also not work. So you can give a combination like a followed by 1, that is also perfectly fine. You can give a number followed by a, that is also perfectly fine. But you cannot give empty. You cannot keep it empty. This is not going to work. So this is very important. If a period followed by a period means it is exactly that many number of characters. So if I come up with 3 period, it means exactly 3 characters. This characters means letters, numbers and symbol. Keep it in mind. It means letters, it can be number, both uppercase and lowercase inclusive, it can be symbol. So as many number of period you are putting forward, that many number of letters, symbols or numbers you can use. So if I come up with 3 symbols, so it means that I have to write 3 input one after the other, and that can be anything. I can have a lowercase, I can have a uppercase, I can have a number. It doesn't matter. The sequence is not important over here. A number followed by uppercase, a number followed by uppercase, that is not a problem. But you cannot keep it empty. Of course you have to provide exactly that many number of inputs. I believe if you watch this video minutely once again, this entire quantifier count will be very crystal clear, and the role of the period will also be very clear, because search is a very important part in context to regular expression. This is my first video where I tried to emphasize on the relevance of these symbols and the purpose of this period. In my upcoming videos, I will be talking about range of characters. I will be talking about groups. They are going to play a very crucial role. So I have planned to make few more videos in this regular expression series, so that those who are having confusion how to implement regular expression via code, not just only state transition diagram that we have done in our college, but at the same time try to explore how theory of computer science is so relevant when it comes to the programming. Okay, because honestly speaking, when I did theory of computer science, it was like I always kept guessing that why the subject is there, what is the advantage of this subject, why are we doing regular expression, what is the relevance of that. Truly speaking, at that point of time, this was not at all clear unless and until I started working on code, and that's the reason why I love to do code. So please watch these videos and more video to come that will make you much stronger over regular expression. Okay, until my next video, have a nice time. Bye bye.